State Journal Register and New Hobby Springfield, including Sports Radio 1450, now bring you breaking news 24/7 from the State Journal Register and sj-r.com. Look for it and click on it anytime on the Sports Radio 1450.com homepage.
Chris McLeod here alongside Kevin O'Day, Tim Schweitzer as we get set for Lanphier Lincoln here from overnight. Good time for the starting lineups now, and we'll start with the number 1 seeded Lanphier Lions, 15-0, 3-0 in the conference, and they're led, of course, by Larry Austin Jr., the 6'2 senior, averages 24 points a game. He leads all scorers in the conference, had 29 points against CBC last week, averages about 70% from the free throw line. Xavier Bishop, the outstanding 5'7 sophomore, no fear for this kid. 18, make it almost 19 points a game. He had 24 in their last win over CBC. Can really hit it from beyond the arc. Jim Rupert shooting at 42% from beyond the arc. Scotty Wallace, 6'7 and a senior, will be at 1 forward along with Darius Milliken, 6'4 and a senior, and DeAndre Alexander, the other forward at 6'1 and a senior. Lanphier is coached by Blake Turner. The Lions average 45% from the field, 63% from the free throw line, 31% from three, and are hitting at about 70 points per ball game. Lincoln will go with a 3-guard lineup. Max Cook, 6'2 and a senior, will be the point guard, averages 9.5 points a game. He can hit from beyond the arc, 18 of 53 on the year for the 6'2 senior. Joey Olden, 6 foot and a senior, 7.1 points a game. He has 14 threes on the year and a 72% free throw shooter. Tyler Horsham, 5'11 and a senior. He can also hit from outside. He's knocked down 15 triples this year. The man in the middle and the leading scorer for Lincoln is 6'6" junior Gavin Block, 13.3 points a game. The leading rebounder for the Rail Splitters at 6.2 rebounds a game, and can also hit from outside, 22 threes on the season for number 22, Gavin Block. And Edward Bowlby is the forward center for this Railer Splitter team, 6'3 senior, 13 points a game, 30 threes on the year. He's their best three-point shooter and their tallest player. So anybody can hit it for Neil Alexander. Coach Alexander in his 24th season at Lincoln. Overall, though, in 37 years, he's 699 and 352 down. He got win number 600 in this building in 2010. He's looking for number 700 tonight as a Rail Splitter head coach. 540 wins, 177 losses. The Rail Splitters are shooting it at 53.4 points a game, 46% from the field, 37% from downtown, 71% from the free throw line. This is the stat that I love, Jim Rupert. Lincoln only turns the ball over 6.7 times a game, under 7 times a game, and Lanphier averages 14 steals a contest.
Yeah, Lanphier has turned opponents over 347 times in 15 games, and Lincoln has turned it over 95 in 14 games. And that's where the game is going to be decided.
On the defensive end, and who can take care of the basketball tonight?
Giving the ball away is going to be a crime in this one.
Lanphier has some key wins this year. Among them, East St. Louis. They beat Bolingbrook. They've beaten Peoria Manual and Peoria Richwoods, and they beat Evanston. And Jim Rupert, only one game out of the 15 that they've won was decided by a margin under 10 points. That was the 8-point victory over Chatham Glenwood that you and I saw here at Lobernica on January 3rd.
And the key to that one for Glenwood, they kept their turnovers down. They didn't give the ball away. I think they had 10 or 11 that day, which is also the low that Lanphier has allowed this year. These teams have played since the start of the Central State 8 in 1993. These teams have played 43 times. Lincoln has won 27. They played in the postseason 3 times. That was in 2002, 2003, in 2001, 2002, and also in 95, 96.
Give me your best memory from this series. You've been around a long time, and that's not an insult, but you've seen a lot of games and you've seen a lot of good ones between the Lions and the Railers.
92-82 triple overtime, Prairie Capital Convention Center in the 95 season. Unbelievable game, one of maybe the best high school basketball game I've ever been in attendance to. I also enjoyed my first year here, 76-77, Lanphier ended up finishing second in the state. Lincoln had Chuck Regerber as a junior that year. The teams played 3 times. Lincoln won the first 2. Lanphier beat them on the way to playing in the state championship game. And that year, Lincoln played in the title game at Pekin, and Lanphier played in the third place game at Pekin at Christmas time against Peoria Central, who they played for the state championship in March.
Blake Turner has not had a lot of success against Lincoln as a head coach or a player. He graduated and played for Lanphier, graduated in 1994. That was the first year that Lincoln came into the league, and they lost both of those games when Blake Turner was a senior. Last year, Lincoln beat Lanphier 49-39 and 48-39, so they swept last year as well. Blake Turner hasn't had a whole lot of success either as a player or a head coach. There hadn't been a bigger game for him as a coach or a player, at least not against this team.
8 out of 10, Lincoln has won 8 of the last 10 times that these 2 teams have played. In fact, Lanphier won both in their undefeated season in 11-12 when they got 4th in the state. But since that time, the last time Lanphier won both games was the 0-2 team, Andre Iguodala, Rich McBride, that got 2nd in the state.
All right, Lanphier in their home white jerseys, black numerals, orange trim. Lincoln in their road greens with red numerals and white trim, and jumping it up at center court, it'll be Gavin Block and Scotty Wallace, and a tap and the tip, and it's controlled to Lanphier, and the Lions will move from left to right in front of us as we see it here at Lobernica. A packed house, 1,600 strong, cheering on both of these teams tonight. 1 versus 2 in the state of Illinois. Top of the key, it is Xavier Bishop. Right side it goes to Alexander, back up top to Bishop. Lincoln in that 1-2-2 zone defense that they've run for decades. Out front, Bishop with a basketball. Lanphier will work it around the perimeter here to start. Alexander with a basketball. Left side to Bishop, head and shoulder fake. Again along the perimeter. Baseline pass intended for Larry Austin. Stolen by Lincoln, saved from going out of bounds. Into Larry Austin, spinning layup, good. Larry Austin Jr. first 2 points, and the Lions have a 2-0 lead with 7:10 to play in the first quarter.
Edward Bowlby made the steal along the baseline in front of the Lincoln bench, but he couldn't secure it. He flipped it backwards. It went right to Larry Austin for the layup.
Lanphier elects to pull off the full court pressure. They did not to start with it here in the game. Larry Austin, anticipating a pass on the perimeter, knocked it loose out of bounds in front of the scorer's table on the near sideline. Inbounding, it'll be Tyler Horsham, the 5'11 senior, comes into play to Max Cook. The 6'2 senior will control the point most of the time for these Railers here tonight. Cook with it high on the left. Wants a screen from Gavin Block. Comes off the screen. Horsham high on the left. Top of the key to Block. Guarded in the Lanphier man-to-man. Inside the lane, it goes to Olden. Kicks it back out. 3-ball in the way. Right pocket. Max Cook buried it.
Great ball movement that time by the Railers. They passed it around the perimeter, got the penetration in the dish, and then Cook delivered.
Lanphier and Larry Austin Jr. with a basketball. Here's Xavier Bishop. Right side it goes. Alexander looking for a shot inside. Instead to Bishop. Hop step in the lane. Tried to get it to Wallace. Fading out of bounds and threw it away. Into the arms of Cook. Long lead pass to Olden down the floor, and the Raiders pull it back out as Lanphier get back on defense. Inside the block it goes. Turnaround shot by Bowlby. No good, and the rebound away to Lanphier. Here is Alexander. Left side pull-up three-pointer. Bishop jumper. Good from the top of the key. 5:57 to play here, first quarter, and the Lions have a 5-3 lead.
Long three by Xavier Bishop.
That was near NBA range. Block inside the lane. To Cook, kicks it out. Horsham for 3 off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound away to Alexander. Up ahead it goes Larry Austin, weaving through traffic. No look pass left side to Alexander. Now he kicks it inside the lane. Actually, that was to Milliken, and Milliken fed Alexander on that left baseline. Ball knocked loose out of bounds, and the Lions will keep it.
The officials are letting him play, no doubt about it. A lot of action inside.
And I think that's good for everybody here in the gym. They want to see these two teams showcase what they've got. Outside it goes to Bishop on the inbounds. To DeAndre Alexander. In the corner from Bishop. Head and shoulder fake, Austin. Baseline drive, no good with the right hand. Rebound tapped around and kept alive by Milliken. Out to Bishop for 3. No, in and out. Rebound underneath, and a clearing out foul is called on Lincoln.
On Bowlby. First foul of the game.
Edward Bowlby picks up his first, team's first. Lanphier will inbound it. Austin On the right baseline, comes into Scotty Wallace, top of the key, feeds behind him to DeAndre Alexander. Right side it goes to Bishop. Top of the key, Alexander looks in against the Lincoln zone. On the baseline, Milliken shovels off inside. Nice feed from Austin, cutting Scotty Wallace, who laid it up and in from the left wing.
Larry Austin made the play, got the pass on the block, and they collapsed on him, and he dished it off to Scotty for the layup.
Man on man, full court pressure. Milliken guarding, block up the timeline, crosses over half court, gets it off to Oldham. Joey trying to engage the defense, hands off behind him to Cook. Lanphier's man-to-man extending outside the three-point arc. Outside the arc, it is Bowlby. Circles towards the top of the key, hands off to Block, trying to come off a screen. Taking Wallace, shuttle off at the baseline. Right side it goes Olden, into the right corner to Horsham. Tyler with a basketball, dribbles, hands off to Block. Comes off a screen. Inside it goes Bowlby, and off the layup, missed it. Rebound tapped around, and Wallace comes away and clears for Lanphier. Up the far sideline, it is Bishop. Xavier pulls up, dribbles between his legs, gets it off to Alexander in the right corner. Now it goes to Larry Austin. Now to Alexander. Left side at Bishop. Left corner to Wallace. Back to Bishop. 4:03 to play. Lanphier with a 7-3 lead here at home. Bishop with a basketball. Lincoln extending the defense. Austin catches on the right wing, dribbles now into the corner. A two-try stepping inside the arc was Alexander. Had his shot partially blocked, but Darius Milliken there to clean up the board. And the Lions have a 9-3 lead.
The one-timer by Milliken, 9-3 Lanphier.
Here is Block working against Milliken. Takes it across half court. Pulls up and gets the dribble. Gets it off to Cook. Shovels in the corner now to Bowlby for Lincoln. Edward Bowlby circles back out around the arc to Block. Running the three-man weave. Goes inside. Draws the foul inside.
Gonna get Larry Austin for his first.
And it was on Larry Austin. Ronnie Jones making that call, the officials here tonight. Ronnie Jones out of the Bloomington Normal Officials Association. Adam Holloman from Champaign, and Keith Johnson from Champaign drawing the assignment tonight.
Jordan Tribbett checks in, and Darius Milliken takes a seat.
Outside it goes off the inbounds block. Head and shoulder fake, driving in baseline. Head and shot blocked away, but the putback follow is good by Gavin Block, the 6'6 junior, who put it back up and in. It's 9-5 with 3:18 to play, and Scotty Wallace getting up gingerly.
He made the initial block, and then when he came down, must have come down on somebody's foot. Looks like they're going to bring Aaron Timms into the game, 33.
6'2 junior, averages 3.4 points a game. Timms will sub in, and Scotty Wallace coming off the floor fairly slowly. Lincoln's going to put on the 1-2-2 full court press now on this Lanphier series. Tribbett had a great game against Chatham Glenwood when we saw him on January 3rd. Inside the lane, Bishop takes it to the baseline. Timms shut off there, kicks it back out. Here is Xavier Bishop. Lobs inside the lane, throws it up with the right hand, and the rebound underneath. And the putback follow try by Larry Austin Jr. drew the foul. Foul will go on Tyler Horsham. That is his first.
They're going to say it was on the rebound.
Team second for Lincoln. 3 minutes to play, 9-5 Lanphier. And we appreciate you listening tonight on SportsRadio1450.com and Sports Radio 1450, along with 107.1 FM.
Don't forget our friends on Cable Access Channel 22.
Right. This game is being streamed live or broadcast live, and you can get a recording of it later on as Jordan Tribbett, the 5'10 junior for Lanphier, drove inside the lane, and an offensive foul is called on Tribbett. Lanphier's second team foul of the half. 2:50 to play, 9-5. Lincoln basketball, they trail in the game.
Half-court pressure by Lanphier. No ball pressure after the turnover for the offensive foul.
Cook has it high on the right to Block. Left wing it goes. Peyton Ebler checks into the game. Now here is Joey Olden for three, right corner. No good, and it was tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Lincoln. Peyton Ebler, the 6-foot junior, averages 2.9 points a game. Scotty Wallace is going to come back in the game. Aaron Timms will stay in, but DeAndre Alexander is going to have a seat.
Horsham went out of the game for Lincoln. Horsham has struggled this year. He's shooting just 30% from the floor.
Lanphier trying to pass over the 1-2-2, full court pressure to Wallace along the baseline. Try to get it to Timms, was knocked loose out of bounds on the baseline, and Lanphier will inbound it underneath their own bucket.
They're going to bring in the freshman, Yakima Rose.
5'8 freshman, getting some playing time in a big game early. 9-5, Lanphier with the lead of the ball. It is Rose with it. Top of the key to Bishop. Back to Rose, right side. Trying to go baseline. Shut off there. Draws the double team. Circles out back around the arc. And he drew the foul on the floor.
Going to get the hand check on Ebler.
And this is not something that Lincoln wants, right? Lanphier wants to use their quickness to try to get Lincoln in foul trouble. And it has worked a little bit here in the first quarter.
Yeah, but Lincoln is making them make a lot of passes and they're not giving them anything easy. And Lanphier's doing a great job of staying out of corners. That's what Lincoln wants you to do, get in the corner and use that baseline as a third defender on the double team.
Here is Xavier Bishop with a basketball. Circles towards the top of the key, left side of the freshman Rose. Back to Bishop, thought about the three, steps to his right, shovels inside to Austin Jr., had it taken away by Gavin Block.
Fourth turnover by the Lions.
Here comes Max Cook, feeds into the corner to Olden. He had a wide open three and passed it up. Here is Cook, shovels off behind him to Ebler on the right wing to Olden, now back to Cook. Max Cook's going to hold at the center jump circle. 1:27 to play on the first quarter clock. 9-5 Lanphier. High post to Block. Turns, squares up against Larry Austin. Feeds behind him to Cook. Ball fake. Steps to his left. Back to Ebler. Now to Cook. Feeds Cook
Bishop,
on the left wing.
Yeah, Bishop got caught up in it on the handoff. They're so hard to switch on because they run that shuffle cut offense.
Talked to Blake Turner before the game. I said, how do you stay calm when Lincoln is trying to get you out of your game? He said, we have preached patient intensity this week. I said, what does that mean? And he said, pick your spots. When you're going to be intense, go with everything you got. Here is Cook inside the lane, leaves it for Ebler, now to Bowlby, back to Ebler. Left wing it goes, now top of the key to Gavin Block. Block goes away and Ebler controls. Lincoln wants the last shot maybe of the quarter.
How about Rose on Block? That's not a good matchup for Lanphier.
Here's Cook now to Horsham, top of the key to Block. Left side it goes to Ebler with 42 seconds on the first quarter clock. Lincoln trails it by 4, 9-5. Left side to Olden. And Lincoln will hold and work it around the perimeter here for the final shot maybe of this first quarter.
Unless they get that backdoor cut. Watch out for the backdoor cut.
Here is Cook, or rather Max Cook with a basketball. 6'2 senior. Controls the point with 19 seconds left. Holds at the near volleyball stripe. Guarded by Larry Austin Jr. in the man-to-man for Lanphier.
Now they've switched up with Timms back on Block.
Two seniors battling here, maybe the final shot. Left side it goes to Ebler. 5 seconds left. Ebler left corner to Block. Steps to the baseline, launches it with the last second shot, no good. And the Lions have a first quarter lead of 4. We'll take a timeout. Back for the second quarter at Lobernica in 1 minute.
Fans, make sure you get your 50-50 tickets for tonight's show. There will be a minimum of $400 for the winner. Shoot for cash in the Holly Rose Field.
9-5 Lanphier with the lead after the first quarter, and Roop's got the first quarter shooting numbers.
Lanphier 4 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 2 on 3, 6 rebounds, 4 turnovers, 3 points for Bishop, 2 for Austin, Wallace, and Milliken, 2 for Block, 3 for Cook. Lincoln 2 of 8, 1 for 3 on 3s, 1 rebound, 1 turnover.
Block had the basketball, got it to Ebler deep in the right corner. Now Max Cook circles out it back around the arc.
Lanphier turned the pressure up there to start the quarter.
Lanphier with Rose, Bishop, Wallace, Milliken.
2 fouls on Larry Austin.
And Larry
Big
Austin,
play right there.
Yep, who just picked up his second foul. Lincoln's got Cook, Bowlby, Gavin Block, along with Ebler and Olden. Bouncing inside, backdoor cut, and Bowlby laid it up and in right around Scotty Wallace.
Very well done inbounds play.
First bucket for Bowlby, and the Railers cut it to 2. Here is Bishop. Trying to weave through defenders high on the left side. Now circles it back out towards the timeline to the freshman Yakima Rose. Back to Austin. Left side it goes. They reverse the basketball. Pull up inside the Archbishop. Inside the lane it goes to Milliken, and then Milliken threw it away. Tried to get it to Wallace on the left elbow, and Lincoln stepped right in front. Max Cook has it.
Yeah, Darius Milliken had a better shot than Scotty Wallace. Hot potato there. He wanted to get rid of that as fast as he could.
Here's Cook lobbing inside. Bowlby caught it, scored. Thought it was a three when it left his hands, and then clearly Bowlby knew it was a lob, and Bowlby got to the rim. His first 4 points have come all in a row here in the second quarter. And a steal again by Lincoln. Up ahead from Cook, it's Olden, and he wisely pulls it back out as Lanphier got back on defense.
Lanphier, the team turning the ball over. 6 turnovers for the Lions.
Here is Cook taking it in, or rather Gavin Block taking it inside the lane. Right hand push, no good. Rebounded Akima Rose, weaving through defenders. Foot on the line for Bishop. In and out, no good from the left wing, and the rebound skied forward, brought down by Milliken. Here is Larry Austin feeding Wallace. Had it stripped on the baseline. Got it back. Shovels inside the lane to Darius Milliken. Got the shot up, but the foul was on the floor, and the Lions will inbound underneath their own basket.
I think they're going to get Bowlby, which would be number 2 on Bowlby.
Not only
not Cook.
Not only is Lanphier losing the turnover battle right now, but their star has 2 fouls and no points. Actually, 2 points. And he's going to come out of the game.
He's coming out of the game. You know what, though? This game isn't so intense that those fouls really are going to make that much difference, I don't think.
14 foul on Lincoln. It was on Max Cook, his first. Lanphier inbounds all the way into the backcourt to Xavier Bishop, and Lincoln meets him there at the timeline. Bishop gets the ball back. Left side to Jordan Tribbett, who came in for Larry Austin. Right side it goes to Alexander. Back up top to Bishop. Thought about the three. Right side to Alexander. Back to Bishop. Trying to circle around Olden. Does so. Throws a wild pass behind him to Tribbett, who gathered it in at the timeline and brings it back towards center court.
Not a lot of scoring on the floor for Lanphier right now.
Lincoln's defense is a vice inside right now. Outside it goes. Tribbett. Right hand push. Inside. Nice pass to Wallace. Had it blocked, and Wallace hit the deck hard and got fouled. Boy, Scotty Wallace has drawn some contact that he hasn't seen on the football field this year. And he will be at the free throw line as Bowlby picked up his second.
Yeah, it looked like Scotty maybe got a little carried away there, but the reason he got carried away is he got a pretty good push from behind by Bowlby.
A packed house here at Lobernica Gym on the campus of Lanphier High School. Tied at 9. Wallace can give the Lions the lead.
58-3 from the line.
And he got it. A rare free throw make for Scotty Wallace, and a big one. He's got 3. And the Lions have the lead. One more free throw coming for the 6'7" senior, Scotty Wallace. Second right-handed toss, no good. Gavin Block gathers it in for Lincoln. 10-9 Lanphier with 5:36 to play in the half. Max Cook controls for the Railers. High post it goes, Block shovels a pass inside to Olden, now back outside to Cook. Olden skips it across the defense to Ebler. On the left baseline it goes to Adam Conradi, the 6'7" junior who checked in. Ebler has it, top of the key, it's Block. Motors towards the right wing. And the Railers will work it back out around the perimeter. Lanphier Lions in a man-to-man shutdown defense. Right side it is Olden. Top of the key to Conradi, now to Cook. Cook trying to run around Milliken. Takes him left wing, shut off at the baseline. Back outside, Block catches, shoots for 3, got it! And Lincoln has the lead on Gavin Block's 23rd triple of the year. 4:45 to play in the half. Here is Bishop for 3, and he knocks down the jumper. Xavier Bishop with his second 3. 4:35 to play in the first half and a timeout. We'll step aside and be back in 1 minute.
When you cross-dress, you could do that.
528-75-71. It's 528-75-71.
4:35 to play, first half. Lions 13, Railers 12 as one meets two here at Lobernica Gym. Lincoln with the basketball, full court pressure on by the Lions. And Gavin Block will try to take it along with Max Cook up the court. Here is Block across the timeline to Cook. Back to Block at the center jump circle now to Cook. Right side to Olden. Here is Ebler. Now it's Olden. And Max Cook covered up by Jordan Tribbett in the Lanphier man-to-man. Left side, Ebler trying to take his man down the lane. Does so on the baseline. Draws the foul. And he'll be at the line. Run right around Nick Patton, the 5'8 junior. His dad, the former coach, sits up in the left bleachers.
Nick Patton can shoot it. That's why he's in there. He's a zone buster.
Great golfer. And a good shooter for the Lanphier Lions basketball team. And taking it and got the free throw is Lincoln, and a steal now for the Railers, and they come back the other way. Here is Block, catch and shoot. Got it from three from the left wing. Gavin Block pumps up the Lincoln crowd up to our right, and the Railers have an 18-13 lead. Right side it goes, Patton out of Bishop. Left side to Tribbett for Lanphier. Lincoln in the zone. Back to Patton. Lobs over the defense up top to Tribbett left wing. And Lincoln really extending that zone. Here's the three by Bishop, no good. Rebound Wallace, goes inside, throws it up with the right hand over two defenders and put it up and in. Scotty Wallace with 5. And the Lions cut the Lincoln lead to 3 with 3:13 to play in the first half. Block with the basketball, hands off to Cook, who crosses half court. Left side to Block, has been hot from beyond the arc. Trying to take Larry Austin. LA bumps him down the way up, and he drew the turnover. Here comes Jordan Tribbett up the court. Left side it goes. Touch pass into the corner. Patton for 3, no good. Really got it. It was coming off the rim and fell right back in for Nick Patton, the 5'8 junior. 5 points for Patton. 8 tied at 18 with 2:40 to play. Here is Block with the basketball, hands up to Cook, and Cook around the block screen, takes the 3 from the left wing, no good, but Joey Olden there to grab the rebound and keep it alive for Lincoln. Here is Block, pull-up jumper, 15-footer, rimming, falling.
Some friendly rolls on the rims tonight.
7 points for Gavin Block, the leading scorer for Lincoln, 20-18 Railers. 2:15 to play in the first half. Lazy pass caught by Wallace in the deep left corner. Now gets it to Tribbett. Step down the far boundary and an unforced error on Lanphier.
That's 8 turnovers against the Lions. Nick Patton out of the game, did what he was supposed to do. He was in there to shoot and he made one.
Yakima Rose, I think I said Nick Patton had 5. He actually just has 3, the 1 field goal. Yakima Rose into the game for Lanphier. Re-entering is Darius Milliken as well. And they apply the full court the man-to-man defense for Lanphier. 20-18, Lincoln with the lead and the basketball half court left. Olden has the basketball, comes off a screen by Cook and traveled with it as he took it to the right wing. And an unforced error on Lincoln.
After the first quarter, SHG 22, Jacksonville 10.
Springfield High is at Chatham-Glenwood tonight. Jacksonville taking on the Cyclones, as Jim mentioned. Taylorville is at Southeast. The other games going on in the conference tonight. Here is Tribbett. Top of the key for Lanphier. Right side to Bishop. Left side it goes. Into the corner now to Yakima Rose, the freshman. Lanphier trails it by 2. With 1:30 to play in the first half, here is Bishop. Hands out behind him to Milliken on the baseline. Shovels off to Tribbett, top of the key. Head and shoulder fake baseline drive goes to Rose. Right hand push, no good. Rebound tapped around out of there, and Gavin Block rips the rebound away from the freshman Rose. Here comes
Took
Lincoln.
it right out of his hands, didn't he?
Yep. And that may be senior experience on freshmen. Junior on freshman, yeah. Upperclassmen versus underclassmen, and a nice defensive stand as 5 seconds are called on Lincoln and a turnover on the Railers.
Railers lead 20-18, 1:05 left in the first half at a sold-out Lobernica gym.
1:05 to play. Lincoln with on defense. Lanphier trying to get it across half court. Lincoln puts on the half court trap. Tribbett has it across half court. Looks back to Blake Turner for the play call. Gets it off to Bishop. Now back to Tribbett at the center jump circle. And you wonder if Lanphier might hold for one shot here. Could take the lead with a three. Milliken, high post, back out to Tribbett. Left side it goes, steps to his right. Here's Bishop, 4-3, got it from the left wing.
His third.
And the Lions have a 21-20 lead. 9 points for Bishop, all from beyond the arc. Here is Block, driving past Milliken, kicks it back out. Inside the lane it is Cook. Back out to Ebler, and Lincoln will circle it back out around the arc. Larry Austin, LA, turns up the tile defensively. He's got 2 fouls, you're right. Here's Ebler in the deep right corner, hands off to Cook. DeAndre Alexander comes out and grabs him in the Lanphier man-to-man. 8 seconds left. It is Cook taking him to the free throw line. 16-footer, top of the key, straight on, no good. Rebound, tap, follow. Here's LA launching from 3-quarter. Had it straight on, touched the net, but not the rim. A great one, and everything it's been billed. Lanphier with a 21-20 lead at halftime. Back in 3 minutes on Sports Radio 1450.
Fans, stay tuned and watch 3 lucky contestants shoot for cash in the Holly Rosie Imperial Tournament.
On the defensive end, I think they only 3 turnovers. They've got to get something better out of it.
If you're Neil Alexander, what are you telling his ball?
Keep doing what you're doing. We've got the tempos at the tempo that they want it to be. They're taking care of the ball. Got to do a little bit better job on the boards. Take away some of those second shot opportunities that Lanphier has had. But that's always going to be a weakness for Lincoln rebounding.
Starting 5 on the floor for the Railers. That's Cook, Olden, Horsham, Block, and Bowlby. And the original starting 5 on the floor for Lanphier: Larry Austin Jr., Bishop, Wallace, Milliken, and Alexander. It'll be Lanphier basketball to start. They'll inbound on the far boundary. Full court pressure being applied by the Railers. It'll come into Xavier Bishop as the Lions move from right to left. 21-20 to start the second half.
Bishop barely got it across.
Bishop has it high on the left to LA, left wing. Now to Alexander, looks inside, cutting LA down the lane. Hop step in the lane, double teamed.
Double dribble.
And he did double dribble. And a turnover on the 6'2 senior who averages 24 points a game. He's got just 2 tonight.
There's your full court pressure by Lanphier.
Kind of token though,
yep.
And they backed it back off. Here is Block, handing off behind him to Cook, motoring towards the left wing. 3-man weave now being applied by the Railers offensively. Into the right corner, it's Olden. Back out top to Block, and Lincoln just moves the basketball so well with the pass. And Max Cook dripped down the 3 from the left wing. 6 for Cook, 2 3 balls tonight. And the Lions Railers take a 23-21 lead. Here is Wallace. Top of the key to Bishop. Left side it goes, in the lane. Nice touch pass from LA inside to Wallace, who laid it up and in.
That's the effective part against the zone. If they can get somebody like Larry Wallace or Larry Austin at the free throw line to dish, you're in good shape.
If they can get it inside the middle, and it's tough to do against the Railers defense. Left side Horsham, top of the key Bowlby.
That defense is a little bit vulnerable in that spot though.
Here is Cook. Hands off to Olden, now to Block. Stutter step, shovels his feet. Behind him, a 3 ball by Cook, no good. And Block saved it from going out of bounds, and Olden caught it on the left wing. Circles inside the arc. Now back out top to Block, driving inside the lane, throws it up with the left hand, and he got fouled, and he'll be at the free throw line.
Challenged Alexander, went to the basket, and Alexander draws the foul.
Gavin Block, a 73% free throw shooter. One thing, among the things that Lincoln does very well and better than most as a team, shoots free throws over 70% on the season. Block nailed the first. 11 points for Gavin Block. He had 8 in that second quarter, including 2 threes. Second staff carpet free throw is also good by Block, the 6'6 junior. And again, full court pressure being applied by the Railers. Lions aren't used to this. This is kind of a little taste of their own medicine, although in a different version of a trap.
Jordan Tribbett came in for Larry Austin on that one. Interesting.
Here is Alexander, kicks it out to Tribbett. Now back to Alexander, right side. Here's a 3 ball on the way. Bishop, no good. Rebound, fought for. Loose on the floor, and a scrum is a pile of Railers and Lions. right of the lane. And there'll be a tie-up, and we'll see. Can't see the possession arrow. Yeah, there it is on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
So
Lincoln gets it because Lanphier had it to start the second half.
Lincoln basketball. Inbounding it. Full court pressure applied by Lanphier. Cook to block on the far boundary. Back to Cook. Picks up his dribble in the backcourt. Finally gets it across to block. Motors against Alexander, left wing. Top of the key at the center jump circle. It is Cook. Two hands at left side to Horsham. Bounces left wing. Nice bounce pass and a backdoor cut from Block to Bowlby. And that is how Edward Bowlby has scored all 6 of his baskets on backdoor layups.
That's that patience, and all of a sudden there he is, standing alone in the baseline.
27-23, Lanphier trails with the ball. Left side it is Alexander. Top of the key, Tribbett takes him inside the lane. Hop step, throws it off the glass with the right hand. No. Wallace goes back up with it, stripped on the way up. Rebound underneath to Milliken. Header blocked from behind by Block. And then Tribbett goes up for it. And it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Lincoln. What a defensive stand. And Max Cook throws his hands up in the air and wants the Lincoln fans to come to life.
Yeah, Tribbett took it to the basket. Scotty Wallace got the rebound, kept it alive, lost it.
Larry Austin checks back into the game, knifing through 2 defenders to the glass, no good. Milliken there with a putback follow, and he drew the foul. And the Lion fans applaud. And it will be a non-shooting foul. The foul will go on Tyler Horsham. That's his second. First team foul on Lincoln of the half. And a stoppage in play as
now they're saying
it was a shooting foul.
Yeah,
they're saying he was shooting, and I think that's right. I think Milliken was in the act of shooting, but the question is, Larry Austin, I think, pleading his case that he's the one that should shoot the free throws.
Well, if you look at the percentages, no wonder Larry Austin is saying that. Milliken struggles from the line. 41.7% free throw shooter.
Inside 5 minutes to play in the third.
Lincoln crowd not happy about that.
Lions trail it by 4.
Went over the line.
He went over the line. He made it. We talked about how he doesn't make free throws very often, and he made it, but he stepped over the line. So they'll wipe that one off. And Darius Milliken, the 6'4 senior, with a second staff carpet free throw, and he got it. Milliken with 3. It's 27-24. Lincoln with the basketball, 94 feet to go.
Yakima Rose back in for Milliken.
Here is Max Cook. And Block, senior, junior to senior. Cook backing in across the timeline against Bishop. Hands off to Horsham, now to Block. Actually, that was Olden on the backdoor feed. Olden whips a pass into the corner. Bowlby for 3, that's no good. Tip follow up and in by Gavin Block with the right hand. Here comes Lanphier the other way. Yakima Rose in the lane. Now they kick it back out. NBA 3. Got it! Xavier Bishop with his 4th triple of the night. 12 points for the hot-handed sophomore. And it's 29-27. Lincoln with the lead. Here is Cook elevating into the corner. Whips a pass to Block. Now to Horsham. Left side it goes. Block with it left wing. Taking Yakima Rose to the glass and scores. Gavin Block has been the difference maker offensively for the Railers in this game. Block was 16. Here's a feed to Wallace. Baseline rolling in and out, no good. And then Tribbett there with a putback follow. That's no good. And Bowlby comes up with a rebound. Lincoln up ahead quickly. Horsham, no one on him. Wide open 3, no. And ball tapped out of there. LA quickly down the floor, and he drew the foul on Max Cook as he crossed half court. 31-27. Lincoln with the lead. Horsham will come out of the game. Foul goes on Max Cook. That's his second. A non-shooting foul, and the Lions will inbound on the side court in front of us.
Tempo's picked up a little bit more in Lanphier's favor. That's a bad foul.
As in, it was a foul, but not a very good decision by Joey Olden, who got a hand right on Yakima Rose. So Olden will pick up his first. It's the 3rd team foul on Lincoln. Lanphier will inbound it in the backcourt. It is Rose crossing half court with a basketball and a feed from Bishop. Top of the key now. Here is Bishop. He's got 4 threes in the game. To Yakima Rose. Right side comes off a screen by Aaron Timms. Right side to Rose. Now back up. He'll launch it. And no for Bishop. Over the defender for Lincoln. And the Railers grab the rebound. 31-27. Railers with a 4-point lead. Here is Max Cook backing in on Aaron Timms for Lanphier, the man-to-man.
Well, they've really got him spread, don't they?
Here's Cook driving inside the lane, cutting to Olden, now to block, trying to take Bishop. Hop steps and drew the foul on Xavier Bishop. That's Bishop's first and the team's second of the second half.
No shot, so it'll be under the basket.
Really a pretty well-played basketball game foul-wise.
Second foul on Bishop.
Here is Cook in the corner, cutting to block, steps inside the arc and knocks down the 15-footer from the right elbow.
He's got 16.
He's got 18.
Yeah, you're right. I've got the free throw.
2:27 to play in the third. Here is Bishop taking him inside the lane, jump stop at the elbow, gets it off to LA. Larry Austin fires from 15, left side, no good. Rebound underneath to Cook, and Lincoln grabs another rebound. That is one thing Lincoln does not do as well as their opponents, is grab rebounds, but Cook went up against Timms and grabbed the defensive board.
Done a better job in the second half.
Here is Cook against Aaron Timms, takes it to the free throw line, hop step into the corner now to Horsham. Ebler.
Well, they know where everybody is on the floor at all times.
It's
uncanny.
It's ballet. It is so orchestrated. They just move as a team. And Lanphier's full court pressure had the ball knocked loose.
Over and
Max
back.
Cook grabbed it across half court, and they do call over and back.
He saved the layup, though.
It'll be a turnover on Lincoln.
Just the 4th of the game for the Railers.
Lanphier, who makes their living getting hands in the passing lanes, Rube, and is the quickest team in the league,
14 steals a game,
is not quick enough because Lincoln passes the ball so quickly. Here
is 4 shots for Larry Austin tonight.
Here is Bishop. Inside, hop step, throws it up with the right hand, off the rim, no good. Rebound up, Milliken, out the bucket, the whistle and the foul, and Milliken at the line to our left.
6 offensive rebounds for Darius Milliken.
29 points now for the Lions. They trail it by 4. Foul will go on Peyton Ebler. That is his second. Milliken missed the staff carpet free throw. He has 5 in the game. Max Cook dribbling across half court. Covered up by DeAndre Alexander with a man-to-man for Lanphier. Motors towards the left wing. Bounces to Ebler. Left high post, it goes to block into the corner. Bowlby, he'll step into a 3. No. Rebound underneath, and it's to Bishop. Quickly up ahead. Larry Austin crosses half court over the defense to Alexander. Runs into a defender, throws it up, draws the blocking foul on Gavin Block.
Good call. Right call.
And the 6'6 senior hit the deck, but he didn't have position. And he picks up his first, yeah.
First for Block.
All kinds of media here tonight. But you can get the best recap tonight on channel1450.com. And at the line to our left, it is DeAndre Alexander, the 6'1 senior, and he missed the first half carpet free throw. Just a 42% free throw shooter on the year, as Bishop will come out of the game and get a breather. Here's the second staff carpet free throw for Alexander. Right hand toss, no, just drew iron. Rebound underneath Peyton Ebler. Here comes Gavin Block, pulls up short of the midcourt stripe, gets it off in the backcourt to Cook. Now to Block high on the right, bounces through the double team to Cook at the center, jump circle, left side, Ebler. Peyton skips it all the way across the defense into the deep right corner. Back now to Cook, right side it goes. It is Olden, shovels a pass around a defender, inside the lane from Cook, and it was picked up by LA. Larry Austin down the lane, shovels his feet, and a foul on the floor. Boy, that could have gone either way too. And the foul called on Lincoln. And it will be on Peyton Ebler, and that is his third. 6th team foul now on Lincoln. Alexander comes into Jordan Tribbett with 30 seconds on the third quarter clock. 33-29, Lincoln with a 4-point lead. Lanphier started the quarter with 21. They've scored just 8 points in this quarter. Inside pass. It was intended for Larry Austin. He turned his back on the pass from Tribbett and right into the arms of Lincoln, and another unforced error. 8 seconds left, and Cook has it at the center jump circle. Here is Olden with it with 4, with 3, with 2. Block steps inside the lane, buries the 2. And Gavin Block has come to play. He's got 20. Lincoln with a 35-29 lead as we head to the fourth quarter. Back in 1 minute. Gavin Block, the 6'6 junior, with a hot hand for Lincoln. He averages 13. He's got 20 tonight, including a knockdown 16-footer from just left of center to end that third quarter.
Railers were 6 out of 10 in that quarter. They're at 50% right now, 14 of 28 for the game. Lanphier just 3 of 12 in the second quarter, or the third quarter. They're at 11 of 28. 5 of 9 on threes for the Lions.
Lincoln outscored Lanphier 15-8 in that third quarter. As we begin the fourth, the Lions have the ball on offense to start. Left side, Yakima Rose to Alexander.
Got to get Larry Austin more involved.
You do have to get your leading scorer into the scoring column here in the fourth quarter. Ball knocked loose on the floor in front of the Lanphier bench, and the Lions will keep it. Alexander with a pass caught by Milliken, inbounding it. Ahead to Rose, top of the key from LA. Shake and bake down the lane. Jump stop in the lane, threw it up wildly. Rebound skied for and brought down by the Lions. And the freshman Rose, but he shuffled his feet as he tried to get the ball away from 2 defenders, and a turnover on the Lions.
12th turnover against the Lions.
Lanphier is the number 1 team in Class 3A. Lincoln, the number 1 team in the number 2 team in the class. Both teams are undefeated. Lincoln is 14-0, Lanphier 15-0. Someone will have to lose the game tonight, and right now it is Lincoln with a 35-29 lead with the ball. Here is Olden, bounce backdoor cut inside the lane, caught by Max Cook and drew the foul inside.
Again, the patience. They waited, Cook made the cut. Foul against Larry Austin. That's 3 on Austin.
What impresses me so much, Jim, is they don't look like they're moving fast. They're playing with as much intensity without looking like they're moving very fast with the way they pass the ball.
All of a sudden, the guy is open who knows exactly where to cut.
Lanphier moves it quickly with their feet. Lincoln moves it quickly with a pass. Here is Cook. Feeding in the right corner to Olden, takes it inside the lane, circles back out around the arc to Bowlby, now hands back off to Cook. Max brings it towards the center jump circle with 6:47 to play in the fourth.
Got Wallace on him, he's going to try to take him.
Here is Cook, handing off behind him to Ebler. Payton hands off behind him, spinning between 2 defenders, taking it down the lane was Olden, but he drew the foul on the floor, and it will go on Yakima Rose.
Yeah, that time the Lanphier defenders kind of got caught in the shuffle. As they were running the weave, they just kind of ran into each other and they tried to split it. Rose, first foul on Yakima Rose.
4th team foul on the Lions. 6:33 to play, 35-29 Lincoln with a lead in the ball. In the half court to our right, here is Ebler. Had it knocked loose from behind. Cook got it, but then stolen by Larry. Down the lane, jams it with 2 hands.
Will that be a turning point?
The lead. 35-31, and Larry Austin emphatically throws it down.
Now
how about that for getting your star?
Well, that's exactly what you
involved
need.
in the game. And a stoppage in play here. Are they going to get him for hanging on the rim?
No. I don't think there's any kind of violation.
Adam Holloman was checking in with Blake Turner. It was just conferencing. They gave LA the points, 35-31. No fouls, and Lincoln will inbound it with full court pressure. Let's see if that brought the house down.
Nothing token about that pressure that time.
No.
That was the real deal.
And honestly, that was the worst thing that could have happened to Lanphier. Austin dunked it, the crowd went nuts, and then there was a stoppage in play, and now they're quiet again.
Yeah, the momentum was all there. Bishop gets a foul.
And Bishop out front with a body.
Number 3 against Bishop. Austin and Bishop both with 3 fouls.
I mean, LA picked it off at half court, and this place was up for grabs. And then they had to check
it was
on
coming.
something. Yep. Only the second field goal for Austin. 35-31, 6 minutes to play in the game.
The thing about it, though, is Blake Turner shook his head. Okay, I understand, after the official Keith Johnson talked to him.
Lincoln working it around the perimeter. It is Olden, lost the ball loose on the floor, somehow got it. It's a tie-up between Olden and LA, and now there's pushing and shoving going on, and now they got to get people back to their own sideline, and Wallace, the big guy for Lanphier, is the voice of reason that moves his team back towards Blake Turner and the Lanphier bench.
Right in front of the Lincoln bench. Now Scotty Wallace, let's go crowd, get into it. Boy, got a timeout. 30-second timeout on the floor.
5:44 to play, fourth quarter. Lincoln 35, Lanphier 31, back in 30.
What if every child was sent on the right path? What if every child stayed in school, graduated college, got a job, gave back to the community? What could that start? It could be the start of something big. Every time you donate money or time to Big Brothers Big Sisters, it makes a big impact on a child. Start something at Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Illinois Capital Region. Call 753-1216. Call today. Just start something.
Things heating up here at Lobernica, 35-31. Lincoln with the ball in the lead with 5:37 to play in the game. Number 1 and number 2 here at Lobernica, and Lanphier turns up the dial defensively. Out front with the basketball on the left wing, it is Olden. Circles out around 2 defenders, back out around the arc to Ebler. Payton puts it to the floor, around a man, inside the lane, kicks it out, 2 on the line for Bowlby, no good. Rebound Lincoln, or rather a Milliken, skied for the rebound, and a foul called on Lincoln. And that brings Lanphier to its feet.
Fouls on Ebler, that's 4 on Ebler. It's also the 7th rebound for Darius Milliken. He's been a man. 6 of those rebounds at the offensive end. Now he's got to convert, though. That's the...
Yeah, well, and he, to his credit, he made both staff carpet free throws, except one didn't count because he went over the line the last trip.
1 and 1 here.
Big free throws here for Milliken off the front of the iron, no good, or the back of the iron, no good, and Lincoln clears. They've got a 4-point lead on the road. 5:09 to play. Top to block. Left side it goes Ebler playing with 4 fouls. Here is Old taking Bishop down the lane, and he drew the foul.
We're going to get the 4th on Bishop. Wow. With 4:58 left.
That is the 6th team foul on Lanphier. Remember now, these 2 teams will hook up at Roy S. Anderson Gym on the final night of the regular season on February 28th. And Neil Alexander making some comments in the paper that maybe Lanphier was under some pressure to win this game at home because they know they got to go on the road to finish out the year. Inbounding it on the baseline, Lincoln inside the lane. Max Cook curling down a screen down the lane, and he drew the foul. And
blocked
he will
it.
be at the free throw line.
No, they just blocked it out of bounds.
So Lincoln will inbound, and they want to do so quickly. Olden plays it way up, or rather, Olden catches way up top of the feed from Cook. Left side, Ebler trying to take his man down the lane, baseline. Here's a shot in the right corner from Bowlby, no good. It goes over the backboard and out of bounds, dead ball, Lanphier basketball with 4:41 to play, down by 4.
Bowlby struggled 0 for 4 on threes, 3 of 10 shooting.
Bishop is the man with a hot hand tonight. He has 4 threes, but he's been quiet in the second half. Here is Bishop. Into the corner now to Milliken, back out front to Xavier. Hands off to Tribbett. Back to Bishop, thought about the three, steps to his right, looks in against the Lanphier or the Lincoln zone. Here is Tribbett again. Lanphier working around the perimeter, steps into a three.
Oh.
Got it over Olden, top of the key. He buried it over the Lincoln defender. He's got 15, and the Lions cut the lead to 1. 4:13 to play. Timeout on the floor. Listen to this place. We'll step aside and be back in 1 minute. Jim Rupert, there are a lot of great players in this conference, but there may not be a guy I'd want to have take a last-second shot with time winding down than 5'7" sophomore Xavier Bishop, who just drained a huge three to cut the Lincoln lead to 1 with 4 minutes to play.
5 of 9 from beyond the arc. He's got 15 points.
Here is Block with a basketball. Top of the key, feeds Max Cook. Cook guarded in the man-to-man by Bishop. Cook trying to take Bishop. Now to the right wing and Block. Block angles towards the top of the key. Backing him back in, it is Cook. Inside the lane, back outside to Block, and Tribbett tried to step in, and there was a foul on the floor, and Gavin Block comes up holding his right eye as Tribbett tried to pick the pocket of Gavin Block.
Well, I think Tribbett got the foul, and Cook was turning away, and Milliken came up, and I think Milliken is the one that made contact.
They're going to give the foul to Tribbett. That is his second. And the team's 7, so bonus time now for Gavin Block, who has been outstanding tonight. He has 21 points for Lincoln to lead all scorers. Second staff carpet free throw for Block, no good, but the Railers have a 36-34 lead. This is a classic here at Lobernica. Tribbett will bring it across half court, weaves in between two defenders and draws the foul.
Number 2 against Joey Olden. Bonus. And Bishop's a guy.
He had 24 in the win against CBC last week. Now they're conferencing about who committed the foul.
No, it's not who committed it,
whether who's shooting.
And
Tribbett was the man who dribbled across the court, and it was Bishop who raced to the free throw line with great haste.
That's a good try.
But the officials got the call right, and Tribbett will be at the line. Now, Bishop is 78% on the year. Tribbett is just 51%. And Jordan Tribbett at the line, and he missed the free throw and a clearing out foul on Lincoln, or a clearing out, and Lincoln grabs the rebound.
Yeah. Block took Bishop out of, or took Austin out of it, and then Cook just came in and cleaned up.
Here is Olden. Now to Gavin Block. Bumps into a defender on the perimeter. Milliken didn't like the foul call. Block hit the floor. And the emotions are bubbling to the surface here late in this game. 3:19 to play, 36-34, Lincoln with the lead. Foul goes on Darius Milliken of Lanphier. That's his first, the team's 8th. At the line, it is Block, and he knocks down the staff carpet free throw. 22 for the 6'6 junior who averages 13. Second toss on the way is also good. 38-34, and Lincoln has increased the lead with free throws here late in the fourth. Here is Tribbett with a basketball, crosses half court, up the near boundary to Milliken, throws it wide over the Lincoln defense to Bishop. Bishop has it on the high right side. Back to Tribbett with 3 minutes left. Lincoln up by 4 here. Lanphier basketball. Bishop, who has just been outstanding, elevates for 3. No, off the side of the iron. Milliken grabs the rebound, goes back up, can't get it. Rebound, LA. Larry Austin missed it, and the rebound, Bowlby, and he swings elbows underneath, and he asked the official for a timeout, and he got it. 2:39 to play. Lanphier can't buy a bucket from inside, and they trail it by 4. Timeout on the floor, back in 30. How many second chance points have they missed? Play in the game. 38-34. Lincoln has the lead. They just grabbed a defensive rebound, and Lanphier cannot buy a bucket inside. They've missed a number of second chance points tonight.
13 offensive rebounds for the Lions.
Unfortunately for Lions fans, that has not translated into second chance points. Here is Ebler, crosses half court to Olden, top of the key. Lincoln moving the basketball around the perimeter quickly. It is Block trying to take his man, does down the lane, shovels off behind him to Ebler, now to Olden, top of the key. Left side it goes Cook on Wallace. Here is Bowlby, spins on the baseline and then kicks it back out. Gavin Block will hold it. Here is Block, picks up his dribble, top of the key at the midcourt stripe. It's Olden, had his pocket picked by Larry. Austin threw the ball up as he got fouled at midcourt. It hit the top of the iron and it almost went in. And that would have been an interesting call by the officials to find out whether they would have counted it or not.
It would have been on the floor.
LA at the free throw line. Larry Austin, 6'2" senior, at just under 70% from the line. Larry has been very quiet tonight, just 4 points.
Larry gets in the NBA, he'll get that continuation, but until that time, that's an on-the-floor bonus.
And the staff carpet free throw is good by the Lanphier All-Star. 5 points for Larry Austin. If I would have told you that LA had 5 points with 2 minutes left in the fourth and Lanphier would only be down by 3, many people might have said, no way.
I'd have been one.
6 points for Austin. He got both staff carpet free throws, cuts the Lincoln lead to 2. Number 1 against number 2 here at Lobernica. 2-point game, under 2 minutes to play. Here is Ebler, feeds Max Cook. A 15-footer left wing, no good. Rebound Larry Austin, and Lanphier wants to run. LA pulls it back out. Right side to Rose. Back up top, it's Larry Austin, and now to DeAndre Alexander, who two-hands it to Rose, and a timeout on the floor. 1:34 to play. Timeout Lanphier. They trail it by 3. Back for the final 90 seconds in 30.
What's black and white and red?
Everything we thought it would be. 38-36. The scoreboard favors Lincoln. The scoring favors Lincoln. But it's Lanphier basketball with 1:34 to play, and they have to inbound the ball on the far boundary.
I think the Railers would like to have that possession back, and Max Cook would like to not shoot that shot. They'd like to run a little bit more time off the clock.
Here is Yakima Rose for Lanphier. Xavier Bishop has been the man for the Lions with 5 threes and 15 points. Here is Milliken, has it high on the left. 1:19 to play.
It was almost too good to end, Chris.
Yep, it really is. And the Lions will possibly hold for a shot here. They get it inside the arc to Larry Austin, who flashed high post, and Gavin Block got a little too aggressive and fouled Larry from behind.
I think they got Bowlby. Yeah, they did.
Okay.
42 Bowlby. Austin gets 2 now because it's super bonus.
Third foul on Ed Boldy. 10th team foul, as Roop said. 2 staff carpet free throws for Larry Austin. And the first rims and falls. Larry Austin may have his lowest point output of the season, but if he knocks down these free throws, it'll be his biggest points. He got the first, the second staff carpet free throw to tie the game at 38. And he got it. 1:09 to play, tied at 38. Fans on their feet here at Lobernica Gym. Lincoln in the half court to our right. It is Max Cook with the basketball as Roop and I stand in the far left corner. Here is Cook, spinning it off for 3, and he got it! Ebler with a 3 from the left wing, and the Railers take the lead. 45 seconds left. Here is Alexander in a timeout. Peyton Ebler, the 6-foot junior with ice in his veins, knocked down the 3, and a timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Ebler had shot 1 shot. He took the ball to the basket against Nick Patton in the second quarter, scored the basket and got fouled, has been in the game but has not been a real part of the offense. He got that ball in the corner on the wing beyond the three-point line, and he just put that thing up like it was the second quarter, and there's about 5 minutes left before halftime.
6 points for Peyton Ebler. And the biggest bucket of the game so far. There's 43 seconds left off the Lanphier 30-second timeout. The Lions will have it on the far boundary, and they'll inbound it with freshman Yakima Rose. It's Rose, Austin, Xavier Bishop, Milliken, and Wallace for the Lions. LA with a basketball, guarded by Olden. Trying to take his man, feeds behind him to Bishop. 32 seconds left, trailing it 41-38. Here is LA launching a 3. Got it! Top of the key, and we're tied at 41. 19 seconds left, and Lincoln crosses half court. Here is Cook, drew the blocking foul at the free throw line,
Milliken.
and he'll be at the line to shoot.
15.8, Milliken gets a couple. Nope, there's still bonus. It's bonus.
11 points for Larry Austin, who knocked down his first 3 of the game. Tied at 41 with 15.8 seconds left in the game. At the line to our right, a staff carpet free throw is made by Gavin Block, who's been outstanding tonight. He has 24. Boy, oh boy, what a game. What a game. Here's Block's second free throw, got it. Lincoln leads by 2, timeout on the floor, 15 seconds left, back in 1 minute. Everybody on their feet, even Kevin O'Day's on his feet. 43-41, 15 seconds left here at Lobernica Gym, and the Lions trail it by 2. They've got the full length of the floor to go. Jim Rupert, who gets the last shot?
Bishop.
LA knocked down a huge 3 just a few moments ago. They
They'll
inbound it.
over him.
Rose, the freshman, across half court to Bishop, the sophomore. Angles towards the top of the key. Has it at the center jump circle. Bishop with a basketball to LA. LA driving left baseline. Taking it, knifing off the glass. No. Rebound, Rose. Throws it up. Got it. At the buzzer. At the buzzer. We're tied. And it's overtime. And the freshman gave him extra life. Oh, listen to this place. Tied at 43, and number 1 and number 2 will play extras. We'll take a timeout, back in 1 minute.
Design creates the fuel efficiencies you've been waiting for. The Volvo S60 is the only European brand sedan to earn the IIHS top safety test, plus awards for its high marks in front, side, roof strength, and rear crash test protection. Only at Jafre Volvo, Jackson Parkway, Springfield.
WFMB Springfield chatting.
Extra basketball as Yakima Rose, the freshman for Lanphier, scores his only points in regulation. A putback layup with no time left. We're tied at 43 and we're in overtime, and Lanphier controls the tip in OT and will have the basketball to start. It is Bishop, Austin, Rose, Wallace, and Alexander on the floor for the Lions. It is Cook, Ebler, Olden, Gavin Block, and Edward Bowlby on the floor for Lincoln to start in the OT. And a clearing out foul underneath is going to be called on Scotty Wallace.
Block.
No,
They're
on
gonna
block,
get blocked.
okay.
Scotty shoots a couple.
And Gavin Block, who's been superb here tonight, picks up his, no, they didn't call that on Max Cook. They have 2 on the scoreboard. I think you're right, that was on Block. But they have 2 on the scoreboard. If that's on Max Cook, that's his 3rd. And Scotty Wallace got the free throw to give Lanphier the lead. (44-43), 3:37 to play here in OT. Wallace rises. Second staff carpet free throw is nothing but net. 9 for Wallace. 2-point lead for Lanphier. They trailed the entire second half until the putback by the freshman Rose at the buzzer to send it to overtime. Trapping defense in the corner, and Neil Alexander, who is not happy with Max Cook, calls the timeout to bail out his point guard. 3:21 to play in OT, 45-43. Lanphier with a lead, back in 60. Back here at Lobernica Gym as we get set to resume play. 45-43 is the score with 3:21 to play. Lanphier by 2. Here is Max Cook with a basketball for Lincoln, half court right. Cook being guarded the man-to-man by Alexander. Here's a steal out front. Larry Austin one-on-one down the lane, throws it up, got fouled, and he'll be at the line. And credit Max Cook, who got back and got just enough of Larry Austin, who hit the deck hard and went into the bleachers on the end zone. That actually was on Ebler, who got the foul, and if that is correct, that is his 5th. And Peyton Ebler is out of the game with 6 points. At the line, Larry Austin Jr. Lanphier by 2, trying to increase the lead. Got it. 12 points for LA.
He's having some trouble with cramps. He keeps reaching down and grabbing his toe. That means he's having some trouble with cramps. He's been getting a lot of water during timeouts too.
And he's battled that all year.
Yeah.
Second toss is good by Austin. 47-43. Lanphier with the biggest lead of the second half and in the OT. Here is Cook, stutter step dribble, leaves it in the corner, and Lincoln's out of sorts. Threw it away. Bowlby wasn't ready for the pass. It was low. It went out of bounds in the deep left corner, and the Lions force another turnover. This place went up for grabs when Yakima Rose, the freshman, put the bucket back with no time on the fourth quarter clock. And Larry Austin sails a pass into the end zone off to our left. It was intended for Darius Milliken. It was, I'm not sure Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could have grabbed that one. That was well over the head of Milliken. And an unforced error on Lanphier gives the ball back to Lincoln. 47-43. Standing up here in the bleachers. I kind of feel like Sam up on top of the press box. Everybody's on their feet here at a packed house at Lobernica. Here is Cook, and he threw it away. All of a sudden, some sloppy basketball in the overtime as Max Cook took it to the right baseline and then wanted the pass over the defense and threw it away on the far sideline. Lincoln will put full court pressure on as Jordan Trivett comes in and Darius Milliken will come out. Trivett will now be the trigger man in the deep left corner, and Lanphier has the full length of the floor to go. Larry Austin will be the point to break the trap for Lanphier. Trivett, ball fake, comes up the far sideline, now reverses direction, gets it across to Bishop, to Wallace, now back to Bishop high on the left. 2:12 to play in overtime. 47-43, number one leads number two by that count. Here is Trivett, steps into a three. Nope, missed it. Rebound Rose, the freshman, hooks the pass and saved it from going out of bounds. LA on the catch, turned around and scored inside the lane. Larry Austin with 15. Here is a three by Bowlby from the left corner, no good. And Lanphier saves it again. Lanphier wants to run, 2-on-1. Larry down the lane, no. Rebound underneath Rose. Threw it up, drew the foul. He'll be at the line, and Lanphier is pumped up.
How about the offensive rebounding by Yakima Rose?
He's 5'8", and he's only a freshman. He got the biggest bucket of the game to take Lanphier off life support in that fourth quarter. And now he grabs the offensive rebound and knocks down the staff carpet free throw. How about growing up for a freshman tonight?
Man, big when he needed to be.
He'll be a legend if they win this game. Yakima Rose with 5 points for Lanphier tonight. Make it 3 points. And he just got 4.
8-point lead, Lanphier, 1:36 left.
Timeout on the floor as Yakima Rose knocks down 2 staff carpet free throws. We'll step aside. 30-second timeout, and we'll be back.
At Jersey Mike's, we're committed to our customers.
.36 to play in overtime. Lanphier leads Lincoln 51-43. If you're just joining us, they were dead to rights as time expired in the fourth quarter, and the freshman Yakima Rose with the putback to send it to overtime, and the Lions have taken control here in the extra frame. Here is Max Cook trying to take his man Alexander down the lane. And a charge is called. It was Scotty Wallace who stepped right in front. And And they'll wipe up the perspiration down on the right lane. And Lanphier with the full court to go. Neil Alexander trying for his 700th win tonight. He was about a half a second away from getting it.
I think Neil might have to wait until tomorrow night against Champaign Central.
Lanphier has, well, Lincoln is yet to score in the overtime. Here is Larry. Austin catches it across half court, shovels off to Wallace, lays it up and in, and that might do it. 1:18 to play, 53-43, Lanphier by 10. Did you see this coming down the stretch? Lincoln has had the lead the entire second quarter. Lanphier's last lead before the overtime came to end the first half. They led by 21-20. Scotty Wallace picked up the foul. Gavin Block is at the line to our right. Staff carpet free throws coming, and Block nailed it. He has been outstanding tonight. 8 points at the free throw line for Block. He has 26. That is 13. That's double his game average. And he knocked down the second as well. They have full court pressure. Lanphier inbounds it. 53-45, and those free throws for Block with a first point scored in overtime for Lincoln.
And
a turnover. You know, I say that might have done it when Wallace had that wide open layup, but Roop, you can never count out Lincoln with their defense and the way they can score.
Yeah, they
from
got to
beyond
start
the arc.
making some threes, though.
Here is Max Cook. He'll elevate, shoot the three from straight on, no good. Larry Austin climbs the ladder and grabs the rebound. 53-45. LA draws the double team, and a foul is called on Lincoln in the backcourt. And no, it's an offensive foul on Larry Austin. They said he cleared out with his elbow as he tried to come towards center court, and another turnover on Lanphier. Jordan Trivett is out. Xavier Bishop is out. Darius Milliken and Yakima Rose come back in. Here is Block, catches it off the inbounds, takes it to the free throw line, elevates, 15-footer, no good, off the back of the iron. Rebound, skied for by Bowlby, pushes it out to Block, tries baseline, floater over Wallace, no good. Left side rebound is up, and it is no good, and Block is back at the free throw line. And Greg Alexander, the son of Neil, calling over his backcourt team to give him some instruction as Gavin Block attempts two staff carpet free throws at the line. And he got the first. Boy, just one of those nights where everything's falling. Did you ever have one of those nights, Jim Rupert, where everything was falling on the basketball floor for you?
I was the only one that was falling most of the time.
Right, that's what I meant. You were constantly
all over
falling?
the place. Yeah, they used me as the broom.
Right. Second toss, no good. Rare miss by Block. 34 seconds left. Lanphier 53, Lincoln 46. Foul in the backcourt. Trivett grabs his face. Looks like he got poked in that right eye. And he will come back the other way and shoot some free throws.
Horsham on the foul.
Now Trivett, I thought, was the one that was fouled, but Larry Austin is at the line, and now they're pointing.
They're trying again, but it's not going to work. But Trivett's doing a pretty good job of complaining about his eye, so maybe lost the contact.
And now the Lincoln fans are saying he wants a tee, but yeah, you're right. Jordan Trivett is walking back down to where that foul was committed on the far end of the floor and looking for his contact, and he looks like he found it. And he picks it up with his right index finger, and he brings it over to the Lanphier bench. He's gonna put it in. Boy, don't you lick that or something? There's got to be dust on there. Boy, oh boy. As a guy that doesn't have contacts, that can't be good for your eyes, but he gets a hand for the Lanphier fans, and he'll be at the line after getting both the fully functioning eyes here with 31 seconds left. Lanphier by 7.
Two throws for Trivett, who struggles at the line.
51% on the year, and he got that one. So after all that, got the contact knocked out, picked up the dusty contact, put it back in his right eye, and drained the free throw. The staff carpet free throw. Trying to give his team a 9-point lead. No. In and out, no good. Block with a rebound. Quickly ahead to Max Cook. Crosses over half court on the right side. Feeds behind him. Olden for three. Got it. Joey Olden, the 6-foot senior, with his first points of the night. And it's 54-49. Not done yet. Timeout on the floor. A 30-second break, and we'll keep it here. I've never done the game where I actually stand on the bleachers. Again, one of those problems of being 5'9".
You're standing above the crowd right now.
I am standing above the crowd.
Let's go back to the game-tying basket by Yakima Rose. Larry Austin took the game into his hands, drove the baseline, shot a shot that kind of just skimmed off the rim. A bunch of guys went up, grabbed for it. Rose was the guy, the 5'7" Rose was the guy was there, put it up. No question that it was in time. The buzzer sounded. Game tied. We go to overtime, and Lanphier has dominated the overtime.
Lincoln has scored just 6 points in this overtime. Lanphier basketball, full length of the floor to go, comes into LA. Larry leaves it over half court. He threw it right away to Bowlby. Left side, right side it goes to Cook, and Lanphier covers up defensively quickly, and Neil Alexander calls the timeout. 12 seconds left, 54-49 in overtime. Lanphier, the #1 team in Class 3A with a lead, will step aside and be back in 30 seconds.
Did you know that local union carpenters have been building?
Last time out.
Alongside State Journal Register sports editor Jim Rupert, Chris McLeod, 12 seconds left here at Lobernica. This game has been a classic. 54-49 in overtime. Lanphier with the lead. Lincoln called the timeout off of the Lanphier turnover, and the Railers will have it, inbounding it in front of their own bench in the half court to our right. Here is Horsham. He plays it in. Gavin Block catches it with one hand. Lost it. Picked off by Yakima Rose, the freshman. And how many more big plays can the 5'8" freshman Yakima Rose come up with for Lanphier tonight? There's been outstanding scoring. Xavier Bishop has 5 threes. Larry Austin has scored 12 of his 15 here in the second half. And Yakima Rose knocks down the 3. You definitely need to consider him, Jim Rupert, for the player of the game tonight.
No doubt about it.
Knocks down the first half carpet free throw. He's got 5, missed the second. 8 seconds left. Lanphier by 6. Quickly blocked. A long step in 3. That's no good. Cook launches a 3 at the buzzer. He got it, but Lanphier survives. 55-52 the final score, and Lanphier remains unbeaten. 16-0 for the Lanphier Lions. We'll take a timeout. Back to wrap things up from Lobernica after these messages.